Hey everybody, El Cheapo Deluxe here. Welcome to the good life. Hey everybody, El Cheapo Deluxe here. How y'all doing today? Doing great, thanks for asking. I want to do a video about a gun that it's kind of overlooked. I'm not going to say overlooked. I think everybody knows it's out there, or most people do anyway. And you all know how I feel about my Canik handguns. They're my favorite. So I want to talk a little bit more about this one, and I've showed it to you before. I compared it to a Glock in a video. But anyway, here it is. It is my Canik METE SF. Just want to show you that it is unloaded. There's nothing in there. Nothing in that magazine whatsoever. Nothing in the down in the mag well, nothing in the chamber. That being said, safety first as always. Just like that. Show you one more time, it is empty. Point that gun away and pull the trigger. Safety first. Let me put this magazine back in there. Yeah, anyway, about this gun, I just kind of want to tell you a little bit about it. Like I said, it kind of is off everybody's radar with all the other guns that Canik makes, like the MC9 Prime or the TTI Combat or the Rival, Rival S, the Rival, oh, what the heck's the other one? I got one. I just bought it. Can't even think of the name of it now. Rival SFX. That's it. Brain cramp. You know, it happens when you get old. But anyway, yeah, so this METE SF, and it's, you know, it's a Turkish handgun, and actually the Turkish, they pronounce it, how do they pronounce that? Canik METE. But us Americans, we just call it Canik. Canik METE. That's how I say it. Not METE, not Canik, but yeah. Canik METE SF. The SF stands for striker fired. The striker fired, not special forces like, you know, people think it is. Although that Turkish military, this is kind of like their Glock 19. This is what they use for, let's see, Turkish Special Forces actually uses it. I guess that's maybe where the SF people got it confused, thinking it was Special Forces. But anyway, yeah, striker fired. That's what it stands for. Yeah, Turkish Special Forces uses it. Their Air Force uses it. I think their law enforcement uses it. You know, this is their duty handgun, and it's a damn fine gun. This is the first Canik I bought. I'm gonna put some footage up there the first time I took it to the range. It didn't have, it was still naked then, didn't have this on there, didn't have the flashlight on there. But yeah, I just kind of want to tell you about it. And I've got some notes here, so looking at my paper, don't think I'm not looking at you and paying attention, because I am. So this gun was released by Canik in the mid 2022, I think, is when they released this handgun. They've been doing some other stuff along their SF lines, SFX, METE lines, but this is the one I like the best, I think. I do have other Caniks. I've got an MC9. I've got the MC9 Prime, which is a great handgun. The MC9 is a good handgun too. You know, I've had my issues with it, and everybody talks bad about it, but it's actually a pretty good gun if you get it straightened out, or get one that doesn't have the issues. Then, you know, they're getting better all the time. But anyway, yeah, and then my Rival SFX I just picked up, and it may be my handgun, my favorite here before long, but I can't say that it is. It's between this and that MC9 Prime. But this, being my first Canik, it's got a special place in my heart. Anyway, okay, so overall, it's like, looking at my notes here, 7.3 inches, semi-automatic, striker fired. Got front white dot sight, rear white dot sights. They're metal. They're not like a Glock made out of plastic. These are actually metal sights. They're adjustable side to side. What else? You've got a little, that's your striker pin right there. That's how you know it's ready to go. And like I just showed you, there's nothing in here, so I'm gonna pull this trigger so you can see that pin disappear. That goes to your firing pin. And I know I'm gonna mumble a lot because I didn't really prepare what I was gonna say. I got an idea of what I want to talk about, but that's why I got notes so I don't forget. But yeah, anyway, it came with two 15-round magazines. I did buy a couple 20-round magazines to go with it. You know, all the stuff that Canik sends with their guns, it's just packed inside one of them cases when you get it. You know, you get this little pew pew toolkit, kind of cute. Look forward to get one of those every time. Anyway, like I said, it's 7.3 inches, about 5¼ inches from tall. Don't count that. Polymer frame. It is about 1.4, 1.5 inches wide. It comes in all black or the FDE like this with the black slide. I like this. The only thing it's kind of hard to clean. You get all that gunpowder smoke and powder burn and stuff on here, but it still cleans up. Still cleans up pretty good. Barrel length 4.19, which makes it pretty good for concealing. Pretty good concealing. Like I said, came with two 15-round magazines. It is 9mm. You knew that off the bat. 15 rounds. The sights. Yeah, I'm just going off my notes here now, so just hang with me. You know, they call this the Glock killer. It's another thing I got on my notes there. The Glock killer because of the trigger. Still empty. Let me drop that magazine out there just to show you it is still empty. Yeah, so check out this trigger reset. There is your wall right there. So it's got a little bit of a take up before you hit that wall. Yeah, but listen to that nice crisp break. Just like that. And when it resets, nice short reset. This had, I think when I got it, I want to say, I never measured the trigger weight when I first got it, but I'm going to say it was probably somewhere between 4.5 to 5 pounds. As many rounds as I've put through this, over 1,000 rounds, maybe 1,500, close to 2,000. I'm not really sure. Lost count. Not like I was counting, but yeah, that trigger's lightened up a little bit. It is probably, I don't know, somewhere between 3.8 to 4 pounds. It's maybe less. I don't know. Got a trigger meter. I just haven't checked it in a while. What else can I tell you about it? It got one of the best triggers out of the box of any gun you can get. They say a Walther's better, but never shot one, so tell me if you think it is. Optics ready. Now, optics ready, it comes with these plates that you have to put under your optic. Different configurations. I think now, in fact, I was reading that anything with the serial number after 26, it's actually a RMR, yeah, RMS C and RMR footprint. So You might not need a plate. I don't know. I haven't seen one. The newer ones. This is serial number. This is 24. So this was made in 2024, so it's before that. Yeah, I had used the plate. In fact, they had 4 little posts on the plate. I had to file 2 of them down so this would fit on there, but I haven't had no issues with it. Another thing I haven't had any issues with this gun, from the very get-go, very first round I put through there, not an issue. I haven't had one issue in all the rounds I put through there, and I'm not kidding when I say this, not one issue. That's how good this gun is. Never a light strike, never a failure to go back into battery or failure to feed or stovepiping, any of that, you know, just right off the bat, 115 grain rounds right through it, no problem. In fact, I don't think I've never put anything over 115 rounds or 115 grain through there before. I probably should have, because they say to use 124 when you're breaking in a gun. I just never did. And, you know, look at that. The spring broke in good. It's really not much of a problem. So for the value of this gun, when you're talking like $478, $475 or whatever, $485, I can't remember what I paid for it, compared to almost $600 for a Glock. In fact, for my Glock 19 Gen 6, I think I did pay $600 for it. I can't remember. But yeah, for what you get in the box with this and that trigger, man, you can't beat it. The only thing I can say is there's not as many aftermarket accessories for this gun, but it's because it's kind of off everybody's radar. I mean, you can find holsters. It's just hard to find. It's not like the Prime or the Rival, where they've just got a lot of aftermarket products for it. But you know what? You find you a good holster for this, you'll be all right. And if you don't have the, I know it's probably going to depend on the flashlight you put on it, but this will work in a like Gen 5 or earlier Glock 19 holster. I bought a leather one for a Glock 19, and this fit in it perfect. Of course, it wouldn't fit with the optic or the flashlight. It was just a regular, you know, outside the waistband leather holster, and yeah, it fit perfect. So keep that in mind. That's really about all I have to say negative about it. I mean, other than never having an issue, you know, you got your metal sights, which is a big plus. Let me show you something else too. I have got some dummy rounds here. Now these are fake bullets. They're not real. You know, they're snap caps, so you can practice pulling your trigger or whatever. I'm gonna load a couple of these in this magazine because there's something I want to show you. And I usually use something to load this with, because I hate loading rounds in a magazine. 22 rounds ain't so bad, but man, these, anything more than that, they're kind of tough. Okay, loaded 3 rounds in there. Now, YouTube, these are fake bullets. They are not real. They have no powder in them at all. They're rubber. These are just practice rounds for dummies. Okay, so that being said, got one chambered. If you look right here, this is a loaded chamber indicator. It pops up when you got a loaded round in, or when you got it around in the chamber, so that, you know, at night you can feel it if it's dark. You can look at it and see that you got a round in there. You can still press check and see that there's a round in there, but you know, that's one of the benefits of having that indicator there. So let me go ahead and empty these out. Look at that. Went right back into battery. Sometimes with these plastic bullets, or these fake bullets. Doesn't like to go all the way back into the battery. It'll kind of hang up a little bit, about like that, but not a big deal with these fake bullets because they're fake. So anyway, yeah, so you get done your last bullet, drop your magazine, right? Your magazine's empty. You want to empty that out just like that. That's how you unload a gun. I'm sure you all already know that. So, and then your indicator goes down because there's nothing in the chamber, nothing in the gun, nothing in the mag well. YouTube. So anyway, yeah, you've got your slide release, slide lock right here, both sides, ambidextrous. It's a long one, so it's actually really easy. You got your slide brake down here. Your magazine release is only on one side, but you can switch it to the other side. So, I mean, this is truly an ambidextrous gun. You know, you got slide release on both sides, slide lock. You can put that on there. So if you're left-handed, you can use this gun without any issues. Put that flashlight on there. Like I said, I've had no issues with this whatsoever. I think that flashlight might help a little bit with the compensating for any, you know what I'm saying? Get tongue-tied, don't know what I want to try, what I want to say, so you gotta forgive me. I'm getting old, people. That's just the way it is. But anyway, yeah. Got that Pickaninny rail right there. It is optic ready, like I said. Comes with a couple back straps. And I don't know if this one came with 3 or 2. I can't remember, but yeah, you can change out that back strap. Comes with that that mag well. Makes it easier to load those magazines in there. Kind of protects your hand, that way you don't pinch your hand when you slam it in a new magazine either. And it also helps you get a better grip on that gun. It helps, really helps hold your hand up against that beaver tail. So yeah, I really like this gun. And like I said, I've got that Canik Prime, the Mete Prime, and it's close between these two, which was actually my favorite. I don't carry this one so much anymore because I got the Prime, and this has become more of a home defense weapon here. So it doesn't get carried much. The Glock, I'm going to start carrying it as soon as I find the right holster for it. So you got the flared mag well, 3-dot white sights. The grip is fantastic. The stipling on it, nice. Not really aggressive, but just aggressive enough to where it's not going to scratch you up when you put it down in your front of your stomach, especially if you got a big stomach like I do and everything rubs against it. Yeah. So it came with the gun lock, patch rod, bore brush, that cute little Canik tool kit. Came with some bases, I think 2. It only came with 2 optics bases, and it did come with 3 back straps, now that I'm thinking about it. Came with a mag loader, you know, a speed loader. I don't use it. They just say in the box because I use that up lula. Man, if you ain't got an up lula for loading your mags, get one. You can load a magazine in less than 30 seconds if you get good at it. It's quick. Like I showed you the short reset. These sights are high enough to where you can co-witness with them. Yep. I'm a one-eyed shooter. I'm learning how to do 2 eyes. Actually, Saturday when I went shooting, last Saturday, I used both eyes the whole time. I take it back. On my Glock, the the battery screw came out, lost it because I didn't use Loctite when I put it in there. So I had to take my battery drawer out in the battery, so I had to use the iron sights, yeah, plastic sights. So I had to shoot with one eye then. But anyway, yeah, I'm getting better at it. What else can I tell you about this? I really don't know. It's a fantastic gun. I love it. Probably never ever sell this gun. And like I said, it's not on the radar. I've seen a handful of videos about it, but not as many as I'd like to see, because this really is a great gun. And you know, you can sit here and tell me that it's not, but this is my opinion. I think it's one of the best handguns you can get. I've never, like I said, never had an issue with it. Perfectly reliable for me. It's accurate. It feels so good in your hand. It's got a nice big trigger guard, so you could wear gloves if you needed to. Got that double undercut. Your serrations and your slide, they could be a little bit deeper and a little bit more aggressive, but once you break it in, it's really not too bad. Gun still unloaded, nothing in it. See, I'm going to keep showing you that just so I don't get in trouble with YouTube, because they will get you. They already took down one of my videos for something I did. Something wasn't even illegal or against their policies. They just said it was. Actually, I did yeah, I'm going to tell you. I replaced a trigger bar in a Glock 43X with a double diamond trigger bar, just to kind of lighten up the, well, that comes out. See there? It is a fake bullet. Nothing in it. Just to kind of lighten the trigger up a little bit, because, you know, Glock triggers suck. But anyway, I did it exactly like another video did. In fact, the Glock store, that's where I bought the trigger connector, and I used their video when I installed it. So the only thing I did was step by step, exactly the way they did it. So I don't think I did anything wrong. I think maybe somebody might have complained, and that's why they looked at it and pulled it off. But you know what? It is what it is. Can't do nothing about it. I peeled it, and like 13 seconds later, I got a peel back, or a notice back that peel denied. So that just tells me they don't actually have people looking at it. But water under the bridge. I don't think this one will be pulled off unless I decide to change the trigger. And if I change the trigger on it, I'm not modifying it. I guess it is kind of modifying it, if that's what you'd say. But just putting aftermarket parts in it, there should be nothing wrong with that, because they're not illegal to buy. If they were illegal to buy, you know for sure them gun shops wouldn't be selling them, because they'd lose their license. So it's not illegal. I'm not selling them on the black market or trying to buy them off the black market. I'm buying them legally. Anyway, yeah, I'm rambling, but man, I just wanted to tell you more about this gun, because I don't think that anybody has really got an idea of how good these guns are, especially this one. I mean, if you like your Glock 19s, this is basically a Glock 19 made in Turkey. I think it's more comfortable than a Glock. It's definitely got a better trigger right out of the box. Sure, you can put a better trigger in a Glock. Sure, you can put a better trigger in this. But if you don't want to mess with all that, straight out of the box, that's probably one of the best triggers you can get. Yeah, it's not flat faced. It's got that curve to it, but you know what? It's comfortable. It doesn't hurt your finger like a Glock trigger does. And I'm not bashing Glocks, because I've got two. I've got a 43X, and then I just got the 19 Gen 6. So I do like Glocks. They're reliable guns, but So is this. So, I mean, if you want to look at something budget friendly, without going to like a Taurus or something that's still a good gun, but is questionable because of the price, this, there's no doubt in my mind, this is a good handgun. It's well built, feels great. The price is right, and what you get with it, you just can't beat Canik. You know what? Don't let what you see or what you hear tell you differently. Try one out. It really is a great handgun, and like I said, I will probably never get rid of this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me if you've shot one of these, if you've got one, what you think, because you're not going to change my mind, and I hope I changed yours and you feel more comfortable if you wanted to get one of these guns. So yeah, like I said, like, share, subscribe, check out some of the other videos, and appreciate you watching. Come back and see me again. Be safe. Take care. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps.